All right, so the first thing that I want to cover with you is the layout, the format of the journal. It's 2 pages per week. As you can notice up at the top here, it tells you what week you're in. And there are 52 weeks, one for each week of the year. Now, the beautiful thing about the prayer journal for men is that it can grow with you and you can use it as much as you want or as little as you want, because there's nothing worse than feeling guilty, false guilt that we project onto ourselves because we haven't prayed as frequently as we think we should. Now, the goal is to pray without ceasing, to pray throughout your day, but the last thing that a man wants is to open up his prayer journal and to see all these blank pages with days that have gone by that you haven't journaled. We don't want that. We don't want that. So that's why this is designed to use 2 pages a week, the left side and the right side, and you can add to this daily as much or as little as you want throughout the week. So if you just want to use the journal once a week, maybe in the beginning of the week when you're starting your week, and that's all you want to do, you want to record things here as we're going to go through in all of these videos, that's fine. But if you really want to develop your prayer life throughout the week, you can do what I do, which is you add to it each day or a couple of days throughout the week. So you have a main day, a primary day, like maybe on a Sunday night or maybe even a Monday morning, for example, where you're filling out your prayer journal, okay? You're going through everything that I'm going to show you here to help you use it effectively. And then on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, you want to add to it. Maybe there's something in addition that you're grateful for, or maybe there's something that you're believing God for that's come up in your life. Generosity, there's somebody that you're thinking about that you really want to contribute to. We'll go through all of these areas. Don't worry about it. But this journal allows you the ability to customize and to detail as much or as little as you like. And that's why I absolutely love it. Okay, so that's why you have 2 pages per week, but you can use it as much as you want to. Now, one of the first things I want to draw to your attention is the statement that's made in the top left page. Here it's, I'm worth a great deal to God. He will not leave me to fend for myself. This is one of the things that I know as a man, one of the things that we struggle with is providing for our family, providing for our loved ones. And oftentimes what's tied to that is our sense of worth, our sense of value. So this, for example, is a statement that I have on week 17. And you'll notice there is a corresponding scripture that goes with that. So the right-hand top portion and the left-hand top portion, these are designed to work together so that the statement on the left coincides, it supports, and is reinforced by the scripture verse that's on the right-hand side, the right-hand page, the upper right-hand page. So that's intentional so that they work together. The top left side of the page, the top right side of the page work together. Okay, and you're going to notice as you go through the journal that there are statements that really are designed to encourage you in what you believe about God, truths based on God, and truths about yourself. And there's a ping-ponging back and forth. Truths about God, truths about you. Truths about God, truths about you, so that you go back and forth. Now, the other thing I want you to pay attention to when you look at the top left and the top right is immediately below the top right scripture verse, there's a section there where it says, briefly, what are your thoughts about this verse and the related statement on the top left page? How do they apply in your journey? Now, this gives you an opportunity, it's just a little bit of a guided prompt to give you an opportunity to briefly journal about that statement and about the scripture verse. The idea is not to overwhelm you, but to engage your focus and to help you be immersed here. There's plenty of space in the back of the journal. There's blank space if you want to add more detail to that. So again, you can go into as much detail or as little as you want, but these sections are designed to go together. The statement on the top left, the statement on the top right, which is the scripture, and then the section immediately below it to engage you and to get you to focus in on things. Next, you'll notice on the left-hand page, the section that says, I am grateful, people, situations, and blessings from God. Now, this is based on neuroscience of how God actually designed us, that it's very difficult for the brain to focus on being grateful and being ungrateful at the same time. So This is designed to literally help you take captive every thought and to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. So when you think about your family, you think about your financial status with your career or your job. You can think about the house that you're in, any particular blessing that you have, the clothes on your back, the food on your table. And even if you feel like you're down and out, or your man feels like he's down and out, there is something that we can be thankful for, that we can be grateful for. And the reason why this is important is because it's tied in with the biblical teaching to give thanks in all circumstances. It doesn't say to give thanks in some circumstances, but in all circumstances. That's in the book of Philippians if you want to know where that is. And this helps you develop an attitude of gratitude. And there is neuroscience behind this, neuroplasticity. I can tell you as a neuroplastician that the more you focus on good things, healthy things, whatever is good, whatever is noble, whatever is excellent, whatever is praiseworthy, think about such things. That's what the Apostle Paul teaches us. He didn't understand neuroscience the way we now understand neuroscience and how the brain works that actually supports that statement, that whatever is good, noble, excellent, praiseworthy, to think about those things, because when you think about those things, it actually strengthens neural pathways in your brain, and what you focus on actually grows. What you focus on becomes easier and easier to focus on. So if you struggle with gratitude, I know that I do, I'm being honest with you, if you struggle with gratitude or your man struggles with gratitude, this is a great way to overcome ingratitude and to develop thankfulness. So people, situations, blessings from God. So you might want to start the beginning of your week by listing a few on line 1, or maybe line 1 and line 2. Maybe you revisit it again midway through the week and you add on to line 2 or line 3. And then you cap it off at the end of the week. What are things as you look back over your week that you're grateful for? Do you see how this can grow with you? You can do it. You can use it either once a week, a couple times a week, every day if you'd like to. There's plenty of space here for you to develop an attitude of gratitude. And I really want to help you understand that what you focus on grows. There is a neuroscience in the way God designed us that the more you focus on things that are good, healthy, noble, excellent, praiseworthy, the easier it becomes to focus on those things. And guess what? The more difficult it becomes to focus on things that pull you down, that are negative, that are vampires, I would say, things that sap the life out of you, the energy out of you. Okay? So that's why we're starting off here. After we look at the statement on the top, the scripture on the right-hand side, the opportunity for you to engage with that scripture and to briefly share your thoughts, you're jumping right into gratitude. You're jumping right into gratitude. And that's why we are starting off right there. You'll notice immediately beneath that is an area I believe, things I'm trusting God will do in my life, my family, my friends, and the world. These can be local, regional, national, global things, okay? And it's stated in the present tense. You'll notice that all of these are in the present tense. I'm grateful, I believe, I'm generous. All of these are in the present tense. And again, that is done intentionally so that you're not focusing on the future, you're not focusing on the past, you're focusing on right here, right now. And that's a very healthy brain practice. It's a very healthy spiritual practice. These are things that you're believing for God to do in your life and your family, your friends, and your world. And the sky is the limit with these things. I want to encourage you not to limit what God hasn't. Base the things that you are trusting God for on the scriptures, on promises that he has in the scripture. That's why this journal is filled with Bible verses, right? And you'll also notice that we varied the translations. We use the main primary translations and rotate through those throughout the journal so that you might use a particular particular Bible verse translation that you like. This provides some freshness to it by giving you different verses as well to focus on. So this is very important, this section, things that you're believing God to do, and writing it down in the present tense. I believe God is, and you fill in the blank. I believe God is providing for my family. I believe God is leading me in my career choices. I believe God is raising my children and helping me to raise my children. I believe, and the sky is the limit to these things. And again, you can fill it out once a week or throughout your week. So putting it in the present tense, very powerful, very significant to be able to do. Okay, very significant to be able to do. So what I want to do in the next video is I want to spend some time on this very next section, which is very, very powerful and very, very significant. I am generous. What does it mean not only to develop an attitude of gratitude, not only to believe God, but also to be a person of generosity? Because that's a key trait of somebody who's walking with God. You're generous. You're not stingy. You have an attitude and a prioritization on other people. And the more selfless you are, the less selfish you can be. That is something that will help you develop maturity as just a human being, let alone somebody who's walking with God. So in the next video, we're going to pick up right here with I am generous and how you can develop an attitude and behaviors of generosity that are selfless as you look toward helping other people. Because when you stop and think about it, the great commandment is to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. They're not separate, they're together. And generosity has everything to do with that. See you in the next video.